let me finish.
Okay, well, I thought I had, but go ahead.
Okay, y'all, let's take turns and let each other finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the podcast where three minds give their unfiltered and sometimes unpopular opinions on all the craziness going on in our lives and in this world. We're your hosts, Jillian,
Janice.
And Michael.
Settle in and let's take a deep dive.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Let Me Finish. I'm your host, Janice.
I'm Jillian.
I'm Stacy.
Well, look who's back. Yay! She's back again. So, as you guys know, our third Michael has been down and out for a little bit. I actually did talk to him. Just as a quick update, he is doing a lot better. So he is hoping to be back on the podcast in a few weeks. So we look forward to seeing him back or hearing him back. And we miss you, Michael. But we thought this was an amazing opportunity to bring back one of our faves and bring back Stacy.
Hey guys, I am so happy to be back. It's been about a year since I've been on the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm happy to be back.
A year, like you said 2 months?
It's about a year and 2 months.
Yeah.
I miss you guys.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Loki, I told Stacy told us today, she was like, oh, I just was over it and my feelings were getting hurt or whatever. I was like, I knew it. I knew it was just too much when we would like go in on each other, because we do go in on each other.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, it's not necessarily that. I mean, that was some of it.
And I know you're busy too.
And the fact that, yeah, it was supposed to be something for us to do for fun and everything. And then
you got serious?
yeah, I mean, I love you guys, but sometimes like we love hard, we fight hard, and then y'all get on my last nerve. Like y'all get on my nerves. I'm just like, I ain't got time for this shit. Like seriously.
So she never told us what really. So I figured.
So it just.
But I also felt it.
But I also lost the desire too.
Yeah.
Which I also felt.
And I think
that
you're
wasn't
very
fair.
much like, if you're passionate about something, you're super passionate. And
yes.
I agree. If it's not fair if you're not super.
Yeah, because I kind
invested.
of lost the desire, and I was like, it's really not fair because there's so much that y'all could do with the podcast so far. Like I didn't want to be like
the one holding it
not
back.
really into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I'm into something,
but
yeah,
it gave us an opportunity to potentially bring her back for these guest spots.
Yeah,
and she can kind of do it when it was relevant to the topic, and we wouldn't be able to get on each other's nerves so much.
Well,
we wouldn't be able to get on her nerves so much.
I've learned to cope a lot in the last year. Y'all don't understand. So I'm the oldest, and I'm like dealing with a lot. Like
you go through everything
I'm
first.
perimenopausal, so like I'm dealing with that right now. But over the year, I've learned some coping techniques to like not let these bitches get on my nerve. Like I just like when they're getting on my nerves, I just remove myself or just be like, I'm not talking about it. Like I'm done. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Which
that
annoys,
was like a thing.
It like annoys them
The
so
shit out of
bad
us,
when I'm just like, I'm done.
Like, why can't you just
I'm not talking
debate.
about it anymore.
But we like our debating type family for sure.
Yes. And I've learned to like I don't really do that anymore. Like if you've noticed the last couple of family stuff, I kind of just like,
I'm not interested.
I'm not dealing with this shit. Like,
really?
Imagine.
I mean, what was it? Wasn't it Christmas when we had that huge debate about? I mean, it was like P. Diddy. I guess it wasn't a debate. We weren't arguing. We were all just talking about like P. Diddy and Jay-Z and who's running the world.
That was in the family. That was the family group chat. It wasn't even in person.
No, that was in person. That was at the holiday party. It was whenever Beyonce did the performance, and then we began to talk about who runs the world.
But nobody was really arguing. Like
nobody was really arguing.
But because we were all in agreement.
I think that was
no, I wasn't, because Craig was saying some shit about the Illuminati. I'm like, I don't believe
that. Then you did argue with Craig.
I don't remember.
I just told him. I said,
we always
I
argue,
don't.
Though.
I just told him I don't believe in that shit.
Yeah, I do. So it's fine.
I mean, one thing about me.
I don't like I said, I don't know if it's called the Illuminati, but I definitely think there's people that run this world.
Yeah, this supposed secret society that everybody knows who's a part of it.
One thing about me, I love a good conspiracy theory.
Yes. I think that's the thing. Jillian and Stacy drive each other crazy on that, because Stacy is a conspiracy theorist. She
I don't
really
believe
is.
all of them, but
you
I
kind
love
of do.
a good conspiracy theory. And if I see something and it fits my narrative, I'm running with it.
See?
Where'd you see that TikTok? I don't give a shit. I got some TikTok.
She be like,
that pisses me off.
that pisses me off because you're like, I saw it on Facebook. I'm like, oh, what the?
Jillian,
care.
that pisses Jillian off.
I don't
to no
care,
end.
y'all.
Like, oh
I get
my
my
gosh.
news from TikTok. I don't even watch.
It used to be Twitter, so that's better.
Yeah, I'm done with Twitter. So listen, I have my people. Like right now, I don't watch CNN.
Oh yeah,
that stuff.
MSNBC has pissed me.
I don't
all
watch
the way
any of
off.
those. I have my 2 people that I watch on TikTok.
Okay.
I watch the Midas Touch.
They're good.
And I love Aaron
Parnas.
Parnas. And every day at around 6 o'clock, I'm like, okay, what happened? What done happened today? You go to TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, Midas Touch.
I'm not ashamed. I get my news from TikTok.
Kudos to you because I've been in tune with Midas Touch for a very long time. I love their stuff.
They used to be on Twitter also.
Yes, I followed them all. I've been a long time fan of them. So I'm just like, all right, I see you. Okay. Yeah, because lately I just feel like CNN and MSNBC, they've completely like, what are y'all doing? They're trying to be Fox adjacent. And I'm just like, stop. Like, why are y'all doing this?
We done completely lost.
You lost me.
Oh.
I don't know CNN. I don't watch any of that. It's only
That's
reality.
okay.
Do you don't watch news at all? So how do you know what's going on?
TikTok.
Yeah, see?
TikTok and my peers.
TikTok is a reliable
And
source.
y'all.
And that's what my
I
biggest,
like. I mean, you
my
know,
biggest
your
fear
phone,
is to
like,
fall into the
your phone gives you so much of
into
the
these
what's
certain
going on.
pipelines where I'm just like, yeah,
That's not the best way to get your news. Is it just because it has a stigma attached to it?
because anyone, I mean, really, when you're talking about TikTok, anyone can post on TikTok, and as long as they sound confident, you're gonna have people that be like, oh, that makes sense.
I mean,
Well,
I
that's-
also go and look.
Yeah,
So
I
I
do
get
fact check.
alerted to news by TikTok. I don't sit there and get all my information from TikTok. I'll go and do my research and
Yeah,
figure out
I
like
do.
like if,
Did that really happen?
yeah, like when those
It's
like when the
did
planes
Trump really say that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, he did.
well when the
'Cause
planes
I
were
saw
crashing
it.
and stuff
Yeah.
like you know it could be totally fake and that's what sometimes I'll even
Yeah.
message y'all and I'll be like y'all think this is real?
Now there are times when Janice be saying, I'm like, Janice, that shit's fake as fuck.
Oh
Like,
my
come
god,
on,
I
that's
did
like
not realize AI was so advanced.
That's like
it is
AI.
very advanced.
AI is so advanced. I
It
think
is.
especially when the P Diddy stuff started going on, and they were
Oh,
having
yeah.
him say
I think
certain
you
things.
sent me one with Justin
Girl,
Bieber or something.
and I
I was
said
like, that's not real.
He said that.
No.
AI is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
That's
why
actually really scary.
It is very scary, and it's gonna.
Yeah.
It is a huge problem.
It's
Yeah.
getting more sophisticated. It's gonna be hard to tell.
It's very hard.
real from the
Exactly. So
fake.
I'm like,
Yeah.
at this point, like, what are they going to use for like evidence and things like that when things can be fabricated that easily? So, but speaking of TV
Okay.
and what we watch on TV, one thing I do watch is reality TV.
I love.
I
reality
know
TV.
Stacey loves it. Jillian's not a big
Trash.
fan
I
at
love
all.
trash.
They call it trash TV. I
Love
love
it.
to. I can love to consume trash clearly because it's a constant thing. Right now, I'm watching Summer House.
Okay.
But so I also watch Real Housewives of Potomac and
too.
Karen Hooger, which is the Grand Dame. She actually got on all last season. It was like about her DUI crash. She had a DUI crash or DWI crash, where she was being charged with DWI for intoxicated drive. Like she was driving and she was drunk, and it
So
was
she hit somebody?
It was a one-person crash.
Oh,
so she
okay.
hit a tree. She said
Okay.
it was because her whole claim on this whole season was that she was driving a car was coming towards her, and she swerved from the car, and she doesn't know where the car looked like or saw it, but. All season long, she was like, you're going to see my side of the story. You're going to see. I will be vindicated. I will be.
Well, she also did admit though that she was under the but then she said it was because she was dealing with the loss of her. Was it her?
But she wasn't saying that she got drunk. She just said she had a couple drinks.
Yeah,
just
'cause
said-
she was dealing
she's
with
like,
the
because
loss.
I was dealing with a lot, you know what I don't like about what she's doing? She keeps blaming it on her mother's death,
Which happened a long time
which
ago.
happened so long ago. I was like, your father's death happened after that, and on top of that, you've been having a drinking
Yeah, but
problem.
she changed it towards the end. Now she's saying there's a lot of things that she hadn't dealt with in the past because when it came out that this was like her 4th DUI. So now she
Right,
can't
and
just-
because she said
yeah.
now, because when she sent her little message at the reunion, when they were like, she's not going to be at the reunion because she decided to go to rehab.
48 hours.
48 hours of rehab, which clearly means to me you're just trying to make it look good to say, I have a problem, I'm trying to get help, so
for
please
sentencing
give me,
purposes,
please
I
give
think
me,
that's why.
please give me, grace. Right? And she doesn't obviously deserve any grace for me. Because, it's like, when do you, like, learn your lesson? When do you kind of figure out, like, hey, and then she's rich.
She's rich.
And you have drivers. So I'm just
I
like,
mean,
if you have
it shouldn't take 4. That's 4 times you got caught.
Exactly.
So how many times
And they
did you
say
not get caught?
you drive intoxicated like 86 times before you get caught.
Damn.
Because I mean, the only saving grace
That
is
was the
that
statistic a long time ago. It could be more or less now.
because just think, if she's driving that much, times on average drunk, it's only a matter of time. But like, you're lucky it was just you in the crash. You could have hit
Exactly.
somebody.
Yeah.
You could have hit somebody because, like, I know a couple weeks ago, I know 2 people that were on bikes was hit by a drunk driver and killed, but it was 2 brothers. Yeah. And I was just like, you yourself couldn't be in a car and be killed by a drunk driver. Just imagine that. You're minding your own business. You did everything you were supposed to do. And because of someone else's decision, you're dead. And his wife was pregnant with their child.
I mean, it's for me, there's no excuse for that. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever told y'all, but Kiara had a friend from high school that was driving drunk and had a car accident, and it was really bad. The person that she hit didn't survive, but it was even worse. It's almost even worse for her friend because she has severe brain injury and has
She's not recovered since. Wow. And so
And this is in high school.
Well, no, this was her friend from high school. It happened, I
Oh,
want to
when
say
she's-
about 3 years ago now, 4
so
years
she's in
ago.
her
She was
20s.
out of high school.
Okay.
So they're 26. So she would have been maybe around 23 when this happened because it's about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And she's,
it's scary. I mean, and in my early 20s, I also experienced a DWI. I didn't, obviously, luckily, I didn't hurt anybody. Nothing happened to anybody. I just got pulled over. And again, I really wasn't driving at the time of the pullover or whatever, but that's a whole nother story. But for me, that was a wake up call. That was enough for me. Like, and I was probably like 22 when it happened. And it opened up my eyes. And at this point, I Uber everywhere.
no, it's like,
I'm gonna drink.
it's a serious thing because here it is. Here we are couple years after this whole thing happened. Yeah. And she'll never be the same at all. Like, I mean,
Well, 'cause
when
you
I
just
say,
never
when I
know.
say traumatic brain, I mean, it's traumatic, right? But at least she's here.
Yeah.
The other party.
It's not.
I mean,
But-
but that's something like, I'd rather much something happen to me than somebody else. I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
Yeah.
That would be it for me.
Well, I don't even, with the brain injury, I don't think she even
Knows?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Is she like in a hospital or?
No,
she's, like,
she's
functional?
out of the place now. They just have to take care of her.
So
Is she like a vegetable?
I'll show y'all later.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, again, so all of this to say, for me, Karen, no excuse.
Yeah, there's really, I mean, because
And people are like, pray for her. I'm like, I mean, she
it
does
almost
need to pray for her,
pisses
but
me
she
off.
needs to get
no,
help.
it almost pisses me off because
Yeah.
that could be
You're
my
way
child or
too-
me that you hit. Like,
Well, she's just way too, not only is it like you've had so many of this time things happen, but you have way too many resources for you to not do this. Like, it makes me go like back in all those other seasons where she said she had a driver. I'm like, I guarantee you had a driver before because you had a drinking
Yeah.
problem. So then they had to
So
get
it's
you a
like,
driver.
why did you not
So
use
why
your
are you not
driver?
having a driver now?
yeah, I understand if you want to drink.
Go
Girl,
ahead,
drink
girl.
all you
You're
want.
depressed, whatever.
but do you think like when you're drinking, you just feel like, oh, I got it?
Yeah.
Like I'm fine. I'm not
Yes, I do
drunk?
think that does happen, but I think that's about being responsible ahead of time, knowing that even if I I just told Lake and I was joking because I've never driven to her house because every time I go to her house, she's having a party.
Right.
So I'm just like, I don't.
There's no point
And
even
the thing
putting
about it,
myself in that
I knew
situation.
yesterday I was going to go and come back because I was really tired because we just had gone to OKC and I had been drinking while I was down there. So I was just tired. It was her birthday the day before. We day drank. So I knew it was only going to be like a 2-3 hour thing for me. But I still Uber because I knew I was still going to probably have more drinks than I should. And I shouldn't drive. So I'm like, I might as well just Uber. And then not have to worry about anything like, am I okay? Am I not okay? You're just
Right.
not, like, it doesn't matter even if you could be okay. Just go ahead and get the Uber.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Like,
Yeah.
I don't play around when it
It's-
comes
it's
to
one
stuff
of
Like
those-
a dinner, like what do you, a drink, maybe 2
Yeah.
tops.
Yeah.
When you're drinking, you're having drink after
Yeah.
drink after drink after drink.
I personally don't like the feeling of being drunk. I mean, I've been drunk before, but it's not my thing. I drink till I'm tipsy
Yeah, and
a
then
little
you-
bit.
and then you wait till
and
you get
then
sober.
And then I cut
even
my-
tipsy. You shouldn't
Yes,
be driving
but once
either.
I feel like the concept of being drunk is just not.
appealing.
It's not appealing to me. Like I don't, anything that makes me not have control. Edibles.
Now, well, I get that. I don't like
I
those
do
at all.
not like that
because
feeling.
with those, it's so much harder to know what kind of dose you're actually really getting. So I get that.
No, I'm just saying, I don't understand how people just, me personally, not being able to control myself, my thoughts. I don't like
I know.
But I think
you don't like the
that's-
paranoia of it. There's the paranoia of it.
I think people who are trying to escape, that's the feeling they're chasing.
Yeah, so for me, it's like,
For
I
sure.
drink.
I don't
once-
want to have to think right now.
Once I feel the slightest, like, I feel good, I'm done. Like, I know it's like, okay, don't drink anything else because you feel good. Just stop right here.
yeah.
Like, I've never understood the concept
That's why I
of
like day
being
drinking
blackout
so
drunk.
much because like when you day drink, you always stop at a certain because sorry.
Well, there are people
not
who get
everybody.
drunk.
Sorry, I don't. I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I feel nice, I feel good.
Yeah.
And then I go home and I chill, and then I probably take a nap and wake up. I'm like, oh, that was fun, and I still have my whole night.
Because I'm always conscious of how I'm coming across to people. Like, I worry too much about how my parents and how I'm coming across. Like, for me, getting drunk is just, I can't control.
You don't want your inhibitions to be that low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But I
that's
mean,
understandable.
there is a lot of functional alcohols out there who wake up, go to work, do everything they need to do, come home, and
drink all night.
drink all night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There are ones that wake up and drink in the morning just so they can function during the day too, and you'll never know.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I like a little bit of Bailey's in my coffee.
I do too.
like how
But
much a capful?
that's usually like on vacation though.
I mean, every now and then.
Every now.
Mine's
and
not
then, but
like
daily.
hey, let me just put Bailey's in my coffee. Mine's like usually like, hey, I'm on vacation. Fuck it.
No, the one time I was drinking like 3-4 times a week, I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck is going on with me? That was around the holidays when I
That's
was
what you were
making
doing?
those drinks.
Were you putting Bailey's in your coffee at that point too?
No, I was
Okay.
just making those drinks. Like I was addicted to those espresso martini drinks.
But the thing with those espresso martinis and things like that is it's not.
It was like a dessert for me,
There is
though.
alcohol in it, but like that's why you only and really with those kind of drinks you don't drink more than one.
No, but I
Maybe
think
two tops.
for me it was like, oh, I could never drink two. But for me it was like almost like a treat.
Then that's I don't.
But
even,
then I was like,
a little
That's
I
like
found
saying
myself,
dessert.
nah, this is too much. And then I was feeling really bloated.
girl, that's not taking a shot. Like one little shot ain't gonna do nothing. It's fine.
But I have a low tolerance when it comes to alcohol anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, hopefully,
Thanks,
I
Sarah.
mean, how much time does she have to serve?
So she's serving a year, and then it's a 2-year sentence, 1 year suspended. So she's gonna serve 1 year in prison, and then she'll be out. But if she does anything during that other second year, she's gonna have to go serve that other year.
Okay. Well,
So.
hopefully, I mean, if she's
Crazy.
in there for a year, I mean, I know people still get drunk in jail, but hopefully,
I mean,
she'll
is
be
it
able to
bad? I don't
sober up.
sympathize. Like there are people who are saying,
No, I
they feel so bad
don't.
for her because she's older. Number one, there's so many people that have done certain things and didn't get any time for it. I'm like, I don't care about other. I hate when people.
4 is excessive.
Yeah, I hate when people say, "Well, so and so did it and nothing." I don't care about so and so. We're talking about this person right now, and this is her 4th DUI.
they're-
honestly,
they're
she should have gone to jail with her second one.
Yeah.
That's
They're-
my
they're
feeling.
third.
I understand. I
Definitely the
understand the first one. Okay, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson. But when you get caught a second time and a
And
third time,
For me, yeah, the third time would for sure be jail time. Second time would be more consequences, but because I think after the second or third, you get felony charge anyways.
Well, she's the grand dame, honey.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure
No,
by her
she's
third
too
one, she
grown for
had a
that.
felony charge, a DUI felony charge instead of just a misdemeanor.
So what? A felony? You can be president with a felony. It doesn't really. I mean, that's not a big deal anymore,
can.
right? It's not a big. Felonies are not a big deal anymore,
God,
huh?
I know it's such a shame.
Oh, did I go there? My bad.
It's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay.
it's okay.
I'm just saying, felony's not a big. It's not even a big
It
deal
honestly,
anymore.
it shouldn't be anymore. Honestly,
No.
like the whole job thing should be like completely thrown out the
Yeah,
door
like-
because you can
If
be
you
that.
can be-
If you can
yeah.
have the highest position in the entire country, then as with the felony, then you should be
And
able to
like
have
back in
any
the day, a
job.
felony
Yeah.
was like, oh my god, you can't get no apartment, you can't get no job.
You're a felon.
Now you can.
And I mean, and he was getting felony charges for like being crooked.
I mean,
and
I'm
being a-
just like a felony,
Being a liar.
Nothing
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm
It's
just like, so. I mean, I know politicians are liar, but you really gonna put somebody in power that could, is not trustworthy, in office to screw more people over? Okay, fine, whatever.
What is it? I think it was his vice president Vance was like, yeah, I mean, I exaggerated and I lied, but it worked, didn't it? I was like,
he admitted to it. Yeah,
I was
he-
like, let me find out. You
That's
just
when
admit that you
no, he
lied to
did
us.
when he said they were eating the cats and the dogs.
Yeah, he was like, I know,
well,
but
took,
it worked.
That's what it took to get y'all's attention. So he basically admitted to it.
Like, hey, I'm a liar, but hey, I lie for good cause.
Yeah.
That's what he basically said.
He's just
But
it's just an exaggeration.
Anyways.
We'll see what happens. That's a whole nother.
that's a whole nother episode. But
Yeah.
anyway, anyways, like reality TV, Karen Hooger, they're gonna film season 10 without her. So I'm just interested to see what all those fellow Bravo celebrities have to say. But I hope they all say the same thing, which is she needs to learn her lesson. She got to get her.
She's not the first housewife to go to jail.
A lot of them have gone to jail at this point. It's like a thing. And nowadays, it's a thing.
What's her name? Jen
Jen Shaw.
She's
Yeah.
in federal prison right now.
Was that the Utah girl?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's in jail right now.
They
Yeah, she's
caught
in
her.
prison.
They caught
They
her
were
whole entire thing while they were filming.
Yeah.
When they like caught her.
It's like these
It's like a fun
reality
thing.
stars, they're going to jail left and right.
Like the situation, he did his federal time.
The
for tax evasion.
Chrisleys, then Teresa Giudice and Joe
Yes,
Giudice.
that's true.
And Joe did his time and got deported right after. He still
Yeah.
can't come back to the U.S. because they deported. He did his time here and then they deported him.
Oh, and yeah.
He wasn't they deported him too, and he still can't come back to the country.
That's weird.
And then
He
Teresa
should've
did
just gotten
her.
his US citizenship.
Teresa did her time, and she's good now, and remarried and.
Well, goes to show you. I mean, at least
There's precedence when it comes to that
Why
Real
would you go
Housewives.
on reality TV and you know your
And know-
shit?
and
And
know
know
your
your
shit
shit
is
ain't
crooked.
Yeah, like
It don't matter.
didn't. So what's that one girl from
oh
Beverly Hills? Did her
wait,
man go to jail?
Did you hear about
Oh,
poor?
her husband did.
Her husband went to jail.
Okay, well,
the
did-
lawyer.
Erica Jane.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What about recently Portia on Atlanta
Oh,
Housewives?
Simon getting deported.
ICE got him.
I got him. They haven't officially deported him.
First of all, you knew you was
Yeah.
crooked. You
Cynthia's-
know you was supposed to be here.
but
so,
why are you on TV when you know your
Exactly.
papers are not even good?
and then you're just showing all this money and stuff.
Ex-husband, Peter.
Who?
I think he.
Did they catch?
I think
No,
he's-
he had issues with the IRS.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
They'll
once
put
you-
you in jail for that.
Yes, but he didn't go to jail though. I'm just saying. But yeah, he had issues too. Like he had the
Let me find out. Bravo's
restaurant
just over here
clubs,
hiring all these like
all these
people.
crooked people.
I guess I gotta
Because
keep it
half the
interesting.
stuff that you see on TV, half those people, they're living way above their means. They're doing shady shit to keep it going.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
a known thing
And
when
that's
it
what
comes
it
to the
is.
Real Housewives. A lot of
Yeah.
those women, those homes that they're filming out of, come
Mm-hmm.
to find out they're renting it. Jen Shaw, half her shit was fakes.
Counterfeit. Yeah.
Fakes, which is a
Oh
crime.
my! Oh
Her
my god!
bags.
Oh, her
Bags.
bags.
Luxury bags. Were,
Yeah.
Half of them are counterfeit.
Yeah.
Oh my! That's so funny because they were saying how much like Karen was renting and stuff, and like
They're
none
renting
of the
these
houses and
homes
stuff that
to
she was living in
film.
were houses
Yeah,
that she
I mean,
owned.
like you have to keep up with the parents.
But here, look,
Yeah.
I really think when it comes to the Real
look
Housewives,
at Giselle.
except for a handful
she
of
don't keep
people,
up with parents. She gonna buy that old
house, and then they talk,
renovate it.
but they talked about her. But guess what? It's hers.
But it's hers.
Yeah.
she bought it.
she probably
It was
Hey.
raggedy at first. But
It
she
was.
she's
She
doing
worked
better.
on. She
It's
remodeled
not great,
it.
but it's better than it was. Because
It's hers.
It's crazy.
I don't know what the house looks like.
For
so.
me, it was like
You would
were-
like it,
I
Jill.
was like, girl,
I
you're a
would?
visionary.
Okay.
You a visionary because
Yeah.
I would never have bought that house thinking I could do what she did.
Because
with
you
it.
always talk about like getting an older home and
Yeah, I
redo-
would.
Yeah, so you
I
would like it.
I
You
would-
can.
I would get an older home and gut it
Yeah.
and do it.
She
the
did
way
a
I
good
want.
job, and but I just hate how some pieces are like brick and some pieces are like the wood panels, and I'm like, I don't.
And
like
that's
that.
what happens when you're
I
remodeling.
don't
But
like
I listen, it's hers.
But you know what? Again, it's hers. Karen, whatever Karen was living in when she was renting, so.
Yeah.
I'll give
Yeah.
her that. I will
Yeah.
give her that. So, anyways, we're gonna move on
We done
to
went way off
our
topic.
our
I
actual
think that's
topic.
what happens when I'm here. Like, yeah, we just.
We do it too. We do it too. And I knew I wanted to talk about Karen Hooger, so it's fine. But yeah, so Jillian actually sent an article this week to us, and it was about Steph Curry and
Ayesha Curry.
Ayesha Curry. And basically, it was her saying that, or I guess in her interview she basically said that for her, they always put their marriage before their kids. And the internet just went crazy and just hated the fact that she was over here, just putting her marriage publicly above her kids. And of course everybody's like, you can't put your kids above, or your husband above your kids, or your marriage above your kids. Who actually does that? But for me, it was more like, so Jillian sent this and she was like, we should talk about this on the podcast. And that's when we had the thought, it would be great to have Stacey on because she's married. Me and Jillian aren't married, and me and Jillian don't have kids, but Stacey has both. Right. And I think I'd like to talk about multiple situations in a marriage, but first let's talk about
First, I just want to jump in. I want to make sure I get her quote exactly what she said. She goes, I think of us, our relationship always comes first. then we're parents, she told People. And that works for us because when you have two happy people raising the kids in the house, so the family sector in our lives always comes first, is what her exact quote is.
Oh.
And so parents and non-parents did intersect, and some people agreed with her, others didn't. And the ones that agreed with her were pretty much saying, I will never put anyone above my children. And I think
I don't think that's what she was saying.
But I think they don't get it. There you go.
And I think those people who reacted, I'll never put anybody above my kids, I think it's a trauma response. So probably sometime someone, maybe one or both your parents, put themselves above them. And I 100% see that. Okay, I can see where you're coming from, and maybe that's your response dealing with your own trauma. But especially looking at Ayesha and Steph, two people who got married young, but they've been married for 12 plus years, who come from two-parent households, which his parents have actually got divorced after they're grown, but they grew up in a two-parent household. So I think maybe they had better, not saying the best, models or role models they grew up with as far as their parents, showing how you operate in a marriage. And so for me, I'm like, I totally get what she's saying, even though I'm not married. And I told Stacey and Janice this, I'm like, for me, how I would operate is, I got to come first. Because if I'm not whole, how can I possibly pour into my marriage? And if our marriage is not strong, how can we as a parenting unit pour into our children and raise happy, healthy children? And so, not saying that you're not important, your marriage is not important, your children are not important, but there needs to be a priority. All three are important, but I think there needs to be a priority because, like I said, if I'm broken, how can I possibly pour into others?
Correct. And I think what you're saying is that people who are, and I get you're saying a trauma response, I think they just don't get it.
Well, I can speak on it a bit. So y'all know, my first daughter is not from my current husband. It was from my first husband. And then we divorced I got married really young the first time. We divorced early on, and I was like a single mom for a little bit. And then my now husband came into our lives when my daughter was like 6 years old. So based on how I was raised, being a stepchild, I had a stepmom, I had a lot of trauma. So personally, I used to believe nobody, no matter what or who, comes before my child. I've also been with my husband now 21 years, been married 15 years this year, been together for a very long time. But when you're in something that this man loves my child as is his child, he would never put me in a situation to where I would ever have to say,
I have to put her first.
Put her first. So for us, my marriage comes first.
Yeah.
We are solid. And when it comes to making decisions and choices that affect them, it's like
you're a team.
We're but he's given me I've seen it now where like, oh my God, yes, the marriage.
It has to, I guess
we're stronger when you're
a unit. Yeah. I feel like what Julian's saying is right, and I think that's exactly what she means. And I think Ayesha tried to portray that, like,
and she was just talking about her own marriage, not commenting on anyone else's relationship.
But I was saying is, but she, I forgot now. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think we were talking about trauma.
It was Ayesha Curry. Okay, yeah, I think she feel like she did her best to try and portray exactly what you said. Well, obviously, a quick interview with a couple quotes is not enough to fully get across your point of what you're trying to make, which the point she's trying to make is, if the foundation of the home, which essentially is the first, I mean, it's like any house.
Yes,
you can build the most beautiful house, but if that foundation is not right, it's going to end up sinking no matter what. Yeah. So yes, am I going to put the look of the house? Like if you're thinking about it, everybody puts the foundation first, right? Because that's what's the rest of the house is going to be on. Ultimately, yes. What do we put all the attention on? What do we decorate? It's the inside of the house. It's how it looks. It's decor, all of that. All of that does not matter if that foundation sucks. Because the moment it rains, that foundation's going to sink.
Exactly.
Right. I love your analogy.
I did a good
Hey,
job
where'd
with
you
that.
get
Yes.
Where did you come up with
Come
that?
on, girl.
Was that just
smart.
Like, did you just come up with that, or have you been thinking about that?
No, I just came up with it. But you know what I think it is because, you know, I'm for my job, right? I manage people, right? I'm a people leader. So, and I think we talk about it all the time because it's easy to fix all the things that are in front of your face.
Right.
But sometimes you have to go back and figure out, where did this breakdown start? Because I need to go fix that. It's like trying to fix the, and that's an analogy I always use. It's like trying to fix the engine of the plane while it's still flying.
Right.
That's very difficult. But at the end of the day, ultimately what you want to do is let's go fix the plane before we take off. Let's land the plane. Let's maybe stop going at the same trajectory we've been going, land that, fix it, because then we'll be able to get there so much faster and smoother.
Perfect.
But I do it all, like I'm constantly trying to get people to see things from a different perspective. I think at work a lot because I'm a people leader versus an individual contributor, right? As an individual contributor, you're always like, what do I need? What is good for me? As a people leader, you're always having to think, what's best for the group? What's going to make this whole thing better? And I think that's what Ayesha and Steph are doing, right?
Yeah.
What's best for the group is
Yeah.
really just me and you being good, us being on the same page, us putting attention on our marriage so we don't end up divorced.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say there are some instances and situations in marriages where sometimes you do have to put your kids first because your spouse could be selfish or
And I think that's about when you're being as a couple, hey, you're a selfish person. I have to like kind of get you to understand.
Right.
And then as a partner, if you have a strong partnership, you listen
Yes.
to your spouse and you're like, oh, I didn't see it from that point. of
Yeah.
view.
And when it comes to Ayesha, she's talking about specifically about her and her husband.
right.
I understand that there are couples out there where this has happened numerous times where, and I'm going to say this, not saying that men don't do this. I'm saying this from a woman's perspective where the mother puts the husband or the significant other, the boyfriend, to the point where they actually put the child in danger. In fact, it just so happened that I was scrolling through social media where this girl, she says, you know what? I grew up with a mother who always put the relationship ahead of her own children. She talked about how her boyfriend was literally beating her ass to the point where they will call the cops.
Beating the
and
mom's ass or the kid's
beating
ass?
them. It was the mom. It was domestic violence with the mom. And she talked about how she was already planning, how am I going to get the bail money together to get him out of jail?
yeah, that's crazy.
And then she said that at one point, just to see just how completely messed up she was in the head, that one time the man was beating on her. He's like, okay, she told him, you got to go. You got to go. To the point where she left her child at the house, went with this man to go drive him to a hotel out of town. And she gets out of the car and the guy's like, psych. Grabs the car keys from her, gets in the car. He goes, I'm about to go back home and kill your daughter.
Damn, that's crazy.
What?
And he gets in the car and she's like frantically calling her daughter, you need to get out of the house. You need to get out of the house. And, you know, she was doing something and the daughter finally answers, she says, hey, he's on his way back to the house. You make sure you don't open the door, yada, yada, yada. He comes back to the hotel and he goes, oh, never mind. I was just joking. And
That
she
shit's
spent
not
the
funny.
night at that hotel with that man who just threatened to go kill her child.
But you know what that tells me?
But when we're talking about putting your marriage first or your significant other first, that's not what I'm talking about.
What does that tell you, Stacey?
That she doesn't love herself. And that's one of the main things that Jillian had said earlier was like, you got to really and truly, you got to
Start with yourself.
start with
first.
yourself. You got to love yourself. Because women, to me, it's just my opinion, if you allow things like that to happen or in those situations, a lot of those women, they lack self-love.
Which is why they're constantly they have to have a partner.
And if you-
instead of finding love within their children.
And if you don't love yourself, it's very hard to love your child.
Yeah. Because they're telling.
You think you love your child, but you don't. Not really. You don't even love yourself. You don't even know what that looks like.
Okay, so that's why I know with what you were saying before, like obviously your husband's not, or is not the father of your first child, but for me it was always been like that's why I said like I feel like it's different. Ayesha and Steph, they have kids together.
Yeah, they were married first.
You know, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that baseline love is there.
Right.
Because it's their children. Not saying that every person that has like biological children loves their children, but I'm saying that
Yes.
ultimate baseline is there. As opposed to a step parent,
Yes.
which it has to grow.
It grows.
It has to grow. I don't just fall in love with children when I meet them.
Right.
Right.
I don't either.
Right. So, but if I become close to that child, if I find myself having to nurture that child, then yes, I tend to be like, I love them. Right.
Right.
And so that's why I'm like, for me, it's always different when it's a step parent thing. Cause I venture to say that your husband, Ernest, I mean, you say his name, right?
I do not, but go ahead.
You did earlier.
I didn't.
Oh, I thought you
I
did.
said my now husband, but that's okay.
Okay. Well, I guarantee you he had to think about it and was like, can I love this child the way I would love my own? And I think he did that. Mm-hmm. But you also had to put your child first, right? To say, if you don't do this for my child, then we can't be together.
Right.
Which is where the self-love comes into place.
And I love myself very much.
We know that.
So I'm heavy on self-love, right? So anyone that I'm with has to love me as much as I love myself.
You
And
set the standard.
I set the standard, and I set that standard for my child as well. We are one, like me and my child.
Because that's you have to be her protector.
Right.
You're a single mom. You have to be a protector. You have to make sure that you're not bringing anything that would cause her harm.
Right.
So ultimately, I do think you have to put your child first while looking for a new relationship.
I do believe so.
Maybe while looking for it. Maybe not during, like once it's established, but while looking for it, you're looking for a partner for you and your child.
And you know what's crazy? Because so I've had conversations with your mom, my aunt, because I don't know if she's ever told you all this, but she told me that one of the main reasons why she remains single
Yeah.
is
She talked about
okay, she actually talked to me because she was like, I was a single mom, I had a daughter, and she talked to me, right?
It was just her oldest.
She talked to me, and she was just like, I was a single mom, and she was like, you're a single mom, and she said, you have a daughter, you have to be very careful, about how you move going forward and who you bring around your child. And she told me that she personally chose she would never, ever bring a man around you guys or into the household with you guys because, you being her daughters.
You're unsure.
And I held that with me for I was very she told me that when I was I had my daughter at 21. So I was young when I had my first child, and I was a single mom very early on,
Yeah.
And I held that close to me when she said that. And I knew that I needed to be whoever it was. They had to love my, and I'm everyone's not that lucky. I'm blessed. I am truly blessed.
Yeah.
Right? To where I don't have to worry about that or deal with that.
Yeah.
He's a real one.
He is a real one.
I think that's why, sadly, so many people I talk to, especially around my age, they have been molested. Many people. So many.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I actually feel like it's almost like I'm like the odd man out sometimes. I'm like, wow, all of y'all have been
And
touched.
that's I remember I remember being young, and she came to me and she sat me down.
I commend her for that.
She
Thank
sat
God.
me down and she said, listen, she said, I've been there where you at. She said, I have 2 daughters. And she was like, she said, I will be single until these girls are grown and gone. Because she said, I will never bring a man up in this house with my daughters. She told me that from day one.
And she wouldn't allow us to, as a single mom, spending the night at somebody's house was not an option.
Mm-hmm. There were so many conversations that she had with me that is now looking back, I'm like, wow,
She actually knows what she's talking about.
No, she did know, but the fact that she sat me down and just had a lot of people don't even have people coming to them telling them certain things.
I think that's why we are so close too, because mom did kind of make sure that she always was the one that would talk to you and be like, hey, Stacey, I see this in my niece, but I'm going to make sure I'm the one that talks to her about her future and things.
Yeah, she
be a sounding board.
Came right there, sat me down, and I was sitting there looking like, I don't think I could ever go my whole life without having no man. man, but
Yeah.
She
I'm
wasn't
like-
saying you couldn't. She's
No,
just like, you
she
just have
was
to be
just-
more careful.
Yeah, she was just like, that's the decision that she
That she
made.
made for
Yeah,
herself,
for
right.
herself. And I, to this day, I think about that conversation that we had decades ago. I don't know if she remembers talking to me about it.
Yeah,
but
she said,
I
I've heard that
just thought to
conversation.
myself, damn, like,
It's
Yeah.
crazy though. It's crazy to me though. You do have to be careful.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that's why I said like for
And,
me,
and unfortunately, there are men who target single mothers specifically for that reason
for
to
that
get
reason.
access to children.
it happens all the time.
it happens all
the
I'm
time.
telling you, and that's why I'm like, it's crazy to me when I have these conversations and eventually they get deep, and it's like eventually that comes out, and I'm always like, dang,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. And
Yeah.
like you, man. So that's what I'm saying. I commend mom for deciding that. I'm not saying she had to do that because obviously
Yeah,
she didn't
that's
have
a choice
to.
that she made.
But obviously it kept me safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did ultimately. So I appreciate that,
Yeah.
and I think I think the difference with Steph and Ayesha is those are their kids together,
Right.
And ultimately, when like it started with them too,
Yeah, ideally,
and it's gonna probably end with
with
those
that.
two.
Yeah, ideally, how it's supposed to work is like y'all have each other first. It's all y'all have is each other.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are married, and then the kids come along, and then the kids leave, and it's just y'all two again. So ideally, that's why you would always put each other first because it started with y'all and would end with y'all.
And doesn't it say I mean, I know I'm talking to two people who are just not
Don't go there.
okay. Biblical. I'm talking about biblical. Don't they say in the Bible to put your marriage first?
Oh,
I mean,
you
I
cleave
really-
to your. I mean, something about cleaving
Something
to your
about
wife.
the you
Yeah.
cleave to
Cleave
your,
to your
you
wife.
leave your mom and cleave to your wife or something. I
Yeah.
don't think anything to do
Which
with
I-
kids.
But I
mean,
do think
man, I
though,
don't-
and
like, they
don't
have-
get me lying. I don't know what the Bible
That's what I'm
actually
saying.
says.
And they do talk about marriage and things like thou shalt not commit adultery. That's the 10 Commandments. It's not like
Yeah.
thou put your kids first.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So,
But here's the
even
thing.
biblically, I could say I
Here's-
could argue to say that you should be putting your marriage
So
first.
ideally, if in the perfect world, that's how it should be. And based on what she's saying, I don't have a problem with what she's saying.
Me either.
But everything is not ideal, and
But I also
sometimes-
think it can affect your children because I feel like for parents who don't have a sufficient relationship when their children become adults, they come overly involved in their children's lives because
Yes.
they're not
Yes.
comfortable
Yeah.
being alone with their own spouse. So, and they're so used to micromanaging their children's lives, like even when they're adults, they'd be like, "Oh, you shouldn't go here. You shouldn't do that. You should do this." Da 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 da.
Y'all
They
should-
become.
and then they talk about their marriage. Y'all should do this. Y'all should do this, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, and they're thinking, hey, this is just me being a good mother or father, but ultimately it's because you don't want to look at your own life and your own marriage,
yeah.
and you want to just continue doing what you've always done, which is telling your kids how to.
Well,
their
because
life.
there's some people who the reason why they're really ideally together is because of the kids
'Cause they had
anyway.
kids.
And
Yeah.
then once the kids are gone, you have to look at. So we're making sure that we're not together for those kids. We're building stuff now, doing stuff now. Because I mean, one's on the way out. My other one is 16, and she's a couple more years at home, and it's just gonna be me and him. And I
You're gonna
mean,
make
we're
sure-
looking forward to it. Honestly,
True, because ultimately you never know, and a lot of kids do. They forget their parents
yeah.
once they get to that certain point in their
And
life.
g-
Parents who
And guess what? It's okay. Go live your life.
Because
do
that's what you're
whatever.
ultimately supposed to do.
Because me and him, baby, we got plans, honey. We're
Yeah.
gonna live our life.
Oh, that's good. I love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I love that.
I love that.
I mean-
but I think that's ultimately what people didn't want to hear Ayesha or Steph say. They wanted to hear the negative. They wanted to hear the bad. But they do that a lot with them because they are a couple that is very like unique
Yeah.
and very much like the minority.
Very much so.
As far as when they met, how they
they
met,
met.
the fact that he was already a huge like basketball player. They met in college. Like they ended up marrying each other. They have kids
I
together.
have not
They're
heard any
I've
cheating
not
rumors.
Heard cheating rumors.
I haven't, but
What's
mean-
that look for?
Doesn't mean he hasn't,
meaning,
but
I mean, like I said,
so you honest.
it's cool what she's saying. It's relatable.
No, but what are you trying to say?
But I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
what's that look for?
I don't know them, so I don't know. I don't know Steph
have
Curry.
you heard cheating
So
rumors?
you ultimately thinking
I don't know,
that, like,
but me personally, I never put it past a man.
I never put it past
To
a man,
cheat.
but I've
that's
never.
that's your trauma talking.
No, I won't. Put
That's
it,
your trauma talking.
like,
You can't
maybe
put
it
it past
is.
a man, but ultimately you should be able to look at a couple and
No.
and what they're
So-
showing you.
no.
and believe
No, so
them.
here's the thing.
No.
LeBron James,
Ultimately,
perfect
you should
example,
believe people
because
what
there's
they-
so many cheating rumors about LeBron.
Well, I
Yes, I've
guarantee you
heard
he
that.
is.
You think he cheated?
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to think that he has not cheated because I love their relationship and I love their love and I
mean,
love
it's a
how
nice relationship.
I love how he talks about her and stuff and everything like that. But there's so many rumors about it. But I've never heard rumors
about Steph.
About
It's kind of like
Steph.
you don't
I'm
hear
not
of it.
saying-
You didn't
so
hear
I'm
cheating
saying-
rumors about Doug Christie either.
Well,
Because I feel like Aisha's
first of
always
all,
around.
How
huh?
could Doug Christie cheat when old girl was always?
But I think ultimately, but I feel like Ayesha has that same energy without being up under him that much. Not making them get married, but she's pretty much always where he is.
I don't know about that, but
She's not.
well,
I don't know.
here's the thing. Here's
I've
the
never heard
thing.
rumors, so I'm thinking he
Because
didn't.
these are celebrities.
You never think they
and
can be faithful.
I don't ever say when it said, oh, so and so happened, they broke up, or so and so cheated. I'm to the point where I'm like, you all have your couples goals. I mean, I got crushed with Will and Jada.
I don't have couples.
And I was just
goals.
like, no.
that was the fakest thing ever. Will
But
and Jada
for years and years and years, you've heard that they
had
troubles
I've
and
been
used to
hearing
swing.
stuff.
Oh, I
that
didn't.
has been.
Remember, I'm a
Jillian
conspiracy.
Lies.
They've been saying that Will Smith was with-
lies. You've been hearing their swingers for years.
Years.
You're a liar.
That doesn't mean I believed it.
But
Why
I'm
would you
saying,
not?
but
I believe
but that's
it.
why I'm saying ultimately Steph and Ayesha don't have those.
none of that.
So don't be crushed by Jada and Will because they've been saying that
Because
about
I always
them.
feel like when it comes to celebrities, right?
But you
If
wanted
there's
them
something
to.
going on, there's going to be rumors out there because there usually always is. Even if they never get caught, there's been rumors. I've never heard a rumor about Steph
So, yeah.
ever.
No, I think he's. I think he's. And don't get me wrong, it would be crushing to hear
mean,
that.
I could care
but
less,
ultimately,
but
because
yeah,
there's
it would
been
be
no
surpri- yeah.
rumors, there's been no like suspicions. I
Yes.
mean, I should believe that they're a good, a faithful couple.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just
what
saying,
I should believe.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
lean that they're
united
he's
front.
faithful.
They
But I'm
talk
just
well
saying
about each other.
there is going to be a piece of me, a small sliver that won't give him 100% the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, you still a man, you still on the road.
So that means you'll never
So-
give anybody the 100% benefit of that.
When it comes to celebrities, I can't look at them and be like, oh, he would never. No, I would no. Mm-mm.
You wouldn't
No
even
one.
give your own
Yeah,
man 100%.
that's what I'm saying, but I
'cause that-
ultimately
I
think
don't
you
think I
don't-
can.
Yeah,
I
it's a-
can't.
So
That's-
it's not celebrity. You think there's more of a chance with celebrities, but ultimately men never.
She
deserve
would
the
never
100%
give any
benefit of the doubt.
man
saying-
100%.
I personally think you
Yeah.
should be giving people your trust until they break it, and that means in any situations. Like, don't lie to me about little shit either.
No. It's not an issue of trust. It's when I say I never put it on my mind or say or can't put it past you is that if you do end up cheating. I don't want to be like, well, I never thought it was going to
never saw
happen.
that
In the
coming.
back of my mind, there will
It's
always
always
be
a
like,
possibility.
there's a possibility. I can't
Yeah.
say 100% you would never cheat.
Yeah.
I
You just
wouldn't
haven't
say
had.
that.
You just haven't been. Is it
would never
that
say
you've
that.
never?
You can't
You would never cheat, or
live
you just
that.
haven't had the opportunity.
Right.
And so
With celebrities, there's a lot of opportunity.
exactly. So
A
so for
lot.
me, I may look at certain people and be like, oh, 50-50, and others and be like, okay, 90-10.
Yeah.
That's me. But you can't get all the way to 100%. Especially for people
Yeah,
I don't know.
personally, I don't think I would never put it in my mind that no man would ever cheat on I don't know. I would hope not. I believe that he wouldn't.
I'd be devastated.
I would always.
I
but
love your
it can
husband. He's
happen.
like a big brother.
But he's human.
Exactly. And
He's
so
human.
I can't say no.
So I
I
can
give
never say
give
that
him the
it-
benefit of the doubt. But if Stacey came, first of all, where are we meeting to beat his ass? Because
Right.
you beating
that
his
would be
ass.
so that would crush me. I'd be like, no.
Absolutely crush me.
Yeah, it would crush me too. But at the end of the day, I'd be like, I'll never put anything past anyone.
I'd
period.
be like, ooh, that would just ruin me.
But
for
that's
everybody
also
forever and ever.
also a trauma response for
I
me.
hope he knows that.
Why it's really hard to trust anybody 100% because just based on how I grew up and our
Yep.
family, like
Yep.
Exactly. I think it is for me. It's a trauma. Like
for me, it's like
It's
And
like-
I acknowledge that.
ultimately based off of the family we have. Like it's very uncommon for that to not happen at some point.
I mean, personally, I don't even start off trusting people. I
I-
start off not trusting you, and
that's
your
my
trust,
problem
and the
to
trust.
this day. Is
So I'm
I don't
opposite.
ever put my guard down.
I don't.
And they never. Yeah.
I
that's the
don't
problem.
start off trusting. Your trust is earned. I grow to trust you. But in the but this is
That's
just.
why I need you to act like obsessed with me, which is why I said that's one of my non-negotiables. Is because if you're obsessed with me, I feel like I can trust you more so that you won't cheat. Not that I say you will never, but more so I'm like, man, you so obsessed, but you ain't finna do nothing.
But even people who are obsessed with you still go out there and do.
They
stuff.
do,
yeah.
but not as much as somebody who's not as obsessed.
But
with
I
me.
agree.
'Cause then I'm like, you're out there just.
I want my partner to be obsessed with me.
They need to be.
They gotta be obsessed.
I
with
need
me.
you to be in order for me to fully feel like I can trust you.
I'm obsessed with myself.
That might be shameful,
so,
but
again,
it's the truth.
I'm obsessed with myself, so I'm gonna need you to be obsessed with me too.
Exactly. True. Like when I be looking in the mirror and staring at myself, you better come hype me up.
Hype
Baby,
me
yeah,
up.
you look good.
You look good,
Baby,
yeah.
damn, you look good. I know I ain't look in that mirror. Huh? Tell me.
And I teach
Ooh, baby,
no, but
your camera full of pictures of you.
I raise my
Send me
girls
some
the
of them.
same way. I raise my girls. You need to love yourself, because if you can't love yourself, how do you expect someone else to love you? And the way you love yourself how you love yourself is how you should expect others to love you. Mm-hmm. Like, don't accept anything less, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's.
It may take you. I mean, and when you're talking about setting that standard, it may take you a little bit longer to find that person.
I mean, there are women out there who grew up loving themselves, grew up in great homes, like to know what it's supposed to look like, but then come across a man that will just totally just have them not even loving themselves.
So I'll tell you though, these narcissist men, they really be doing a toll on people's
exactly.
self-esteem and their,
they
their
will
ultimate self-worth. I think you and then it's narcissists and it's psychopaths. Like they literally gaslight you so bad.
I think they get off on
it.
Yes.
But a bad relationship can really tear up your self-esteem,
and that's why I can
tear it up. So that's why you want to get out of those toxic environments and toxic relationships
in the very beginning.
Like in the very beginning, especially like love bombing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the beginning, it's like they're gonna love bomb the shit out of you. It's gonna be like you're the best thing since sliced bread. My thing is like,
don't. Are we speaking from experience? Because you're just like, you're the best thing. Really?
Oh, girl, yeah. I honestly, I get love bombed a lot. And I have to keep going. Bitch, you ain't serious. You just talking shit because you don't know me. Because they'll act like I'm the best thing since sliced bread, but I'm like, ultimately, you don't even know me. Yeah, you literally just saw my face. I made you laugh for a couple minutes, and now all of a sudden you're acting like you finna marry me. You ain't finna marry me. Oh man, you gonna be my wife? Really?
Well, that's good good discernment.
But I know now,
because I think obsession should grow, or infatuation should grow. Yeah. The more I know about you, the more I like what I see.
I align in what you actually want. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't be saying those things to me within 3-4 days.
I mean, that's just infatuation. That's just lust, because you really don't know me.
That's all, and I say it all the time.
Yeah,
because I'll go through these dating stages or whatever. I do online dating. I do that too. I kind of do everything, right? I mean, if there's an opportunity and I'm interested, I'll give it a chance. And for whatever reason, that's why I'm like, I pull back way faster, because I'm like, as soon as they start getting weird and like obsessive and it's only been like a little bit of time, I'm like, okay, nope, I gotta go. Abort.
But I think that's just good discernment.
Yeah.
But then I have a hard time allowing somebody to.
No. That is good discernment, because those people who are doing that over a short period of time, they're not really interested in what you have to offer.
No,
they don't know what you have to offer.
They don't.
They only want one thing from me.
So that's just good.
Yeah.
And in fact, because you have good discernment, and you be like, you know what, I'm out of here. You're not wasting your time.
Yeah, you know better.
So every
you do know better.
I do know better. I do.
And I feel like every day that you're wasting yourself with the wrong person, you're missing out meeting the right one.
Right.
So.
Right.
Hold on to that discernment, because that's very good to have.
A part of me thinks that discernment too it's sometimes it's a double-edged sword for me, because I also will be the type of person like, this is too good to be true, I need to like run. But I also I have other things I need to work through as well.
I don't know. Like, I view myself now as like old school. Like when it comes to like relationship and dating, because I've been with my husband for so long, like 20 something years, right? And we were friends first. We met at work, like back in the day, like, you know?
Yeah.
And we were truly friends. We were like dating other people when we met. We were just friends from work. And then we just fell in love with each other. And now when I view people how they date now, and how, I mean, we didn't have online dating back then. Like men had to like,
they had to approach you. And nowadays, they really don't put
like,
as much
you
work
know,
in.
Now it's almost like they don't have to put any work in.
They just got to open up an app, baby.
Yeah. And women are so...
To find a woman that's interested.
It's hard, because I think, especially when it comes to... And then we're getting off subject instead of talking about...
This needs to be a different
when it comes
topic
to online dating, I think, women tend to put more effort into it, because I heard that men outnumber women on those apps.
Probably.
So if you're a woman, get on those apps because you most likely you have a larger pool to pick from. But the difference is that women tend to actually go through and read the profiles, and
Men look at pictures.
and they don't. I heard that these men will actually swipe right when you accept somebody?
Swipe right. That's the yes.
Okay, so they swipe right on every person. They don't read their profile.
That can't
they
be
barely
true.
look at their
I
picture.
think they look at their pictures.
Yes,
They don't. Because that means that everybody
admitted.
I would swipe with would match me, and I don't get matched with everybody I swipe right on.
No, I'm just saying. But can you match with somebody that you swipe right on somebody, but they haven't seen your picture to be able to swipe right as well?
Yeah, they can.
Okay, so that could be it. But they're saying
it's not.
that
Eventually, those men don't come
I'm just
through.
saying.
I'd be looking for certain ones.
I've seen where men have admitted that
They don't really
because
care.
of the insecurity, because they were like, oh my God, there's more of us than there is of them. They swipe right on everybody, and when there's a match,
I did not know that. I thought there'd be like more women than men on there.
no, it's actually men outnumber the women.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
it's
then
easier for them. It's so easy. All
And
they gotta
then-
do is just get on there and swipe, and then they know every person they swiped on is interested in them. Only people that
And
come back are interested.
And so, yeah, once you get a match, that's when they actually go through and read the profile. And I'm so I'm like, so yeah,
I
they're
don't
not
understand
putting
how that works.
or they're not actually putting in the work to actually look at the profiles and being selective as far as who they match
and
with.
nowadays with dating profiles, there also is like they're looking for literally just something casual, and they're admitted that. I mean, I've seen people on there.
But if that's in your profile, that's
looking
in your
for
profile.
a third person for their couple. So I mean, it happens.
Hey, but I think women are honest about that too. If they're looking for just a hookup, then read
it's
their
tough.
profile and see if they're just interested in a hookup and match with those people.
For sure, exactly. I think that's because I put on mine straight up. Don't waste my time. Leave me alone.
So you're dating with intention.
That's what I'm doing now, and I can't say that's all I've always done. I definitely did
But
not.
as of
before.
now-
but now
You're
within
dating.
the last few years, like I'm only dating with intention.
With
I have
intention.
I don't want to even get to know you unless that's something that you're looking for.
Okay.
So I put
Yeah.
that on there now. Before I was scared to put it on there as a young person.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting back to Ayesha
Yeah.
and Steph.
Kudos to her. I think we all agreed that I think she has a good approach when it comes to her marriage.
I think a lot of things that they do, I agree with. I actually really enjoy looking at their relationship. I think it's couple goals. I'm not saying it's all 100% cookie cutter and perfect. What they portray, I like. That's all I'm saying.
My relationship is my couple's goals.
There you go.
Your relationship's a very solid relationship. So I would say
think
that's
so.
goals as well.
Yeah,
I would say absolutely.
It does take work. It does require a lot of work and a lot of focus on ourselves because
There's
these kids are going to be gone.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Stacey. What do you do to put your marriage first? What is something y'all practice?
I don't even know how we even came about it, but it's just like we are first because if we are not first, we cannot.
So do you guys, I know one thing I see you guys do is you do date nights. Is that like a regular thing? Do you guys always do that? Or is that just, hey, on occasion, let's just go somewhere?
We try and do date nights. Now I love a good day date. That's what we call it. We're like in the middle of the day, we go do stuff. Yeah, we try to. I love date nights. We love date nights. We love date. But
You
we
watch
both
shows?
feel-
You watch your shows together?
It's weird
Yes,
because it's
they
so
do.
weird now because one of the things we're so old, y'all.
And I
like
feel
one
like-
of the things we love to do is watch a good series. Like we just cannot wait to get in that
She'd
bed
be
and
like,
watch that.
she'd be like, yeah, I'm just
That's
waiting
the
for
thing,
Ernest
I
to hurry
think-
up so we can finish watching this show. I'm like, all right, girl, let me
That's
let you
just
go.
how-
I know.
old we are.
With him, the way he shows you love is quality time and gifts.
No, I like gifts.
And gifts. No, sorry, gifts.
Gifts.
I think what you give him is quality time.
And
acts of service,
It's the
maybe.
craziest thing because we spend so much time together.
Yeah, 'cause
We are together.
He's your best friend.
24/7. Like,
But I like that he's your
work
best
from
friend.
home. We are at home. Even with us both being at home, like if it's time to go, it was like lunchtime. Okay, we're eating lunch together. Like we run errands. Like we literally, it's the crazy. He's like my best friend. Like it's to the point. Like I actually enjoy.
Do y'all like make jokes together?
And I'm always trying to get him to talk about people with me.
Yeah, she'd be like, Ernest, you won't believe what I found
Yeah,
out.
like gossiping. Like he's not a gossiper. Like You know he's not.
It'd be
No,
like-
he's not.
He's
In fact,
not.
he'd be trying to tell us. I'd be like, ooh, get out of my face.
But I be trying to like
Tell me, I
spill.
know about myself, okay?
I spilled it. Like if you tell
You
me
be like, hey,
if you
listen,
say to
guess
me
what?
if you tell me don't tell nobody, just know my husband knows.
Oh my
I know.
God, it's so funny because it was
Cause I'm gonna tell my
we were
husband.
on our
Like,
trip this
I'm gonna not
week,
tell nobody
and
else.
somebody was like saying something to me, and nobody listens to this.
Oh
really.
God.
But somebody saying things to me, and like my best friend was right there, and she was like, I was like, no, I won't say anything. I won't say anything. And then like,
You're right.
And then Megan was like, what? And then she comes back, and she's like, you're gonna tell me later, right? I was like, girl, you already know.
Yeah, like just know if
Girl, I felt like just like the Friends episode, you already know.
You already know.
if you say, Stacey, don't tell anybody, you just know my husband gonna know. Cause I pretty much tell my husband.
I can, yeah, I have to say that too. Like
That's your-
majority-
that's your one
9
outlet.
times out of the 10,
yeah.
like y'all know. If it's something you've told me, I've told at
Yeah.
least one of you too. At some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. Like in,
Now, one
yes,
person who can't
but-
hold water, mommy.
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Don't tell her. Then she forgets that she told you.
I know. That's the part that
She
killed
be
me.
like,
She'd be like, how do you know that? I'm like, you told me. Girl,
She be like,
it was you.
Now don't tell Stacey I told you this. I'll be
She
like,
already
girl.
told me. No, she already told me
shit.
though.
I know,
There's
right?
so
She'd be
many
like, don't tell
times-
Jillian and Stacey. And in my head, I'm always thinking, I know you told Jillian and Stacey before you told me.
No, she'll tell me stuff.
Because I don't be in mommy's gossip like that.
I do.
Girl,
Y'all
first
be
of
talking
all,
to her way
she
more,
Be
so-
telling Jillian
I
don't.
be like, mommy, if I know they
She
know.
tells Jillian don't tell Stacey, but she forgets that she's always on the phone
She
with
be like,
me.
she be like,
and she
oh, I already told
me.
Stacey. Yeah.
No, I'll bring it up, and she be looking at me like, "How do you know that?" And I'm like, "You told me
Mommy,
a long
you
time
told
ago,
me.
like a long time ago."
No, Jillian told you because I didn't tell you that. I'm like, yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes,
forgets.
you did. Girl, because me and Jillian, I don't
I
be
just
thinking
like,
about
I just
it.
like, mommy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I won't tell Stacey you told me, but go ahead and just tell me.
But then we'll talk about it. We'll be like, "Yes, you already told me."
She already told me.
Mommy's so funny. But
Because
you know,
if she told you and then she told me, we might as well just talk about it together.
Yeah, basically. And
no,
we
you
might
have
as
to
well tell
specifically.
Janice.
You gonna have to specifically tell me. Don't even tell Stacey and Jillian. And then it's gonna be like
It's
we'll see.
whatever.
It depends on how deep it is. If it's like really personal, or if it's just like, yeah, girl, he cheated on me, and then I'll be like, girl, guess who cheated on somebody? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something to y'all, but unless you say, don't tell anybody, please, please.
But I pretty
That's
much
still
know if I
possible.
tell. I pretty much know if I tell Jillian anything or you anything.
It's not
and
going
it isn't-
anywhere.
If I
Because
tell
that's the last place it's
like
gonna
I would
go.
never tell you something and say don't tell Jillian, because if I'm telling you, then Jillian,
Ultimately, Jillian will probably find
It's
out.
like
Yeah.
if I'm telling, it's whatever I'm telling you. I feel the same about you and Jillian. It's like
Yeah.
if I can tell you, then I can tell Jillian. Maybe I just told you first, but
Yeah.
Jillian can know. It's like not like
Yeah,
okay,
I don't have anything where I'm like, okay,
Okay,
I can only tell
don't
Stacey or I can
tell
only tell
this-
Jillian.
Yeah,
I
like-
be telling
Yeah.
both of y'all. That's true. I
Yeah.
tell both of
Yeah,
y'all.
trust me. If I have anything, it's going in that group chat. Be like, girl,
right.
this is what
Yeah.
happened.
Exactly.
And we are messy though, the three of us. I would tell you that we do have a like.
Her
Yeah,
husband calls us the mean girls.
he does call us the mean girls. We are very messy.
I don't think we're mean. I just be calling it like I see him, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Call it like I see him.
They'd be like, can you believe what she did? No, I didn't.
Girl,
did you
see-
clock that? I say, I did.
And truth be told, we talk about everybody.
it's
No,
funny
I
because
don't. I talk about nobody.
Everybody.
we'll be like, something catches our eye and be like, and when I look at Stacey and be like, girl, we just talk with our eyes and be like, you see that?
Like Kiki Palmer. Kiki Palmer does a great job talking with her eyes.
Yes, and I'm like, Stacey, I saw it,
Yes.
and I
Or-
communicate
or-
her, and
yeah.
we will elaborate once they leave.
Or we'll just look at each other across the room like,
We talk about everybody, y'all. Everybody.
and then as soon as we hit that car, girl,
yeah.
Did you believe?
Yeah.
Can you believe she
we
said
are
that?
messy. Oh, ooh.
Can you believe she wore that?
Wait, told on ourselves bad.
Hold up. Question. So I know we have like all these family chats and all these different group chats and stuff, and then we have like our own personal chat where we talk about the family chat. But question.
No, we don't. That does not happen.
Question.
I'm not in that.
Question. Do y'all have a private chat without me? The two of y'all?
I mean, I have
Yeah,
a text chain
stuff
with
that-
Jillian, but it's
Wait,
only like
what?
with stuff like when it's not
So-
involving you.
You have
Like if I'm
To
like,
talk about you?
so y'all have a chat
no,
without
we
me?
don't. We don't chat in there. It's only like if like me and Jillian are meeting somewhere and I say I'm here. I won't send that to the group chat. Like what I told you to stop doing, because I'm like, Stacey, stop freaking talking in the group chat about shit that you and Jillian are doing together. I don't need to know.
When,
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
y'all
have one
so
with
y'all
my-
don't have a chat where y'all
Like
talk
like when y'all went to
No.
brunch, where y'all said y'all were meeting each other. You guys weren't texting me saying, "Hey, I'm here. Meet you there in 10 minutes."
Yeah, I have one.
You have one with you two because I've seen
have-
it.
I have
I've seen
one-
it where you
I-
texted
where I'm just-
Jillian by herself.
I don't trust y'all bitches.
I have
I
one.
definitely don't
I have
trust
one
you.
with just you.
I know you don't talk shit to me with Jillian.
No, no,
I
no.
don't.
No, 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 no.
I know y'all talk shit about me.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
No, just to be,
I know
just be clear.
I can kind of go in and I know they'd be like, she was so mean today.
No, 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 no.
Asshole. I just can't believe
Just-
her.
Okay.
Just to be
I already know
clear.
that
Okay,
happens.
no.
Yes, I do have a chat with just Jeannie's in it.
Okay.
Of course.
And just you. I have
But
a
we
chat
don't
with
talk
just
shit
you.
about you.
Same
So,
thing. And I
okay.
have one with
Now,
just
I
mommy.
have talk shit about you,
I
But it'll
know.
be in the chat.
but
Be
not
like,
in. No, I talk,
no,
trust
it's
me.
behind my
I
back.
talk shit about you.
When she's mad at me,
Yeah.
Janice did this. I already know because I know Stacey. I know Ernest on here heard her earful about how she felt about me.
No,
and felt
usually
about you.
Well,
I already
usually
know.
when I'm
But
talking,
it happens.
Usually when I'm talking shit about you is to your mom, Aunt Jennifer. I'll be like,
Can you believe they did this to me?
Really? Oh, mommy don't say nothing. Look at her holding water.
what's she gonna say?
She's trying to. You need to be nicer to Stacy.
Yeah.
Sometimes she don't tell me that.
Well, I mean,
Well, she didn't tell me I have anger problems and I need to go get that checked
yeah, you
out.
don't think we talked about that?
You think I have anger problems for? Okay, anyways.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Wait, who do you think Aunt Jennifer vents to when she's
Anyways.
venting?
Do you defend me?
Probably not.
You think okay?
I don't remember.
to know.
I don't know what
I'm gonna start
I probably
shit
just
about
sit there
you. I might talk about shit about you today.
and say
After
what?
this, yeah, Stacey been having a problem with me. She ain't even say nothing.
First of
She a little
all,
punk.
First of all,
Say it to my face. Say it with your whole
this
chest.
has gotten way out of control. We were just saying that we talk shit about everybody else, not each other.
No,
We
no.
Don't do
It
that
has
because
gotten out of control.
we
Yeah.
love each
Let's
other.
be honest,
We're
the-
the
Not
mean.
everybody,
We are the
but-
mean girls.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
majority of the time, the only chat I'm in is the three of us.
Yeah.
That's the one I always go and look for. That's the one I always want to talk in. Sometimes I'll actually mess up and I'll go to a random one and I'll be like, oh shit, I need
That's
to.
the wrong chat.
That's the
Yeah,
wrong
yeah,
chat.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll
I
do
have
that.
I have y'all's chat pinned at the top, so
I have
don't
to be
ever-
really
I need
careful
to pin it.
sometimes because I'll be like, oh shit, if I accidentally put what I was
Ooh,
about
girl,
to put in
I
the
did
wrong
that.
chat one time.
I did that the other day at work and thank God I didn't say anything crazy.
Yeah, that's like,
But
No,
it was a
it's-
chat with our big boss and I
Oh,
was like,
God.
shit.
Yeah.
you gotta be careful with them chats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
luckily I said nothing wrong, but I'm like, what if I did?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, y'all's chat is because on iPhones you can pin certain chats. Y'all are pinned at the top. So I know I go to the pin chats before I go through my list.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, needless to say, we're BFFs.
Yeah, we're
We're BFFs.
For sure.
I was
BFF cousin sisters.
Yeah, I was explaining that earlier that I have like y'all my cousins, but we're like siblings, like my sisters and my besties all in one, which makes life a whole lot easier.
It does
Yeah.
make it easier. I've realized that because I've had so many friends in my life. But
Yeah, I don't.
the only friends that are always consistent, which Lincoln is
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah.
but
I mean, it's good to have
y'all
outside
have
friends,
always
but
been there.
yeah,
like,
I don't worry about like I don't have problems with friendships. Like I don't.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of older adults that actually have a hard time.
oh, so well, my best friend's mom has the whole thing. She gets free.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's like the older you get,
But
the
I
harder
don't-
it is to.
But in my head, I'm thinking I have one best, like maybe two best friends that I see on a regular basis, Ashley and Lincoln.
Yeah.
And then I have you two.
Yeah, but friendships.
That's
But
all I
I
need.
know, but friendship is not an issue
That
for
is
you
all I
because
need.
even if you didn't have them two, you
I would
Still
have
had
other
us.
friends.
yeah. But it's like, but there are people who feel very isolated as they get
And they
older.
can't make new friends. Like
it's
I make
really
new
hard
friends all
to
the
make-
time.
There's some people
yeah.
honestly
I have
don't
to-
get along with their siblings or with their cousins. I'm just like, what?
I personally don't even need
I
new.
know.
I'm
No
me
new
personally.
friends.
I'm like no new friends. Like listen, friends is one thing I don't need. Like I have y'all. Like I have friends. Don't get me. And I always meet new people. I do. I always meet new people. People tell me I'm so cool. Like I'm an easygoing kind of person. I have no problem making friendships. But I'm almost like I don't crave it or desire it. So I don't even try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't because I don't really have a lot of time in my life
I don't try.
to nurture a new
I don't have time for
relationships
it.
personally.
I'd rather be at home watching TV with my husband.
Most people
There you
already
go.
know. Most people already know how I am. The people who
Yeah,
love me the most know it's never personal. It's just sometimes I
Yeah.
just be. I wonder.
I mean, I've met some cool people, but I just really, it's not a thing.
You have to
for
nurture
me.
friendships.
Yeah,
You do.
It's
And I
not
don't
a-
really want to have to do that.
Yeah, I
and
don't-
y'all don't make me nurture as much, but I feel like I nurture our relationship more so. But I'm bad about nurturing.
But we're
a
also
relationship,
family too. So
Yeah.
But let's go with the final thoughts about Steph Curry
yes.
and Ayesha Curry. So my final thoughts is mostly what, you know, I think what I was saying earlier, the foundation is the most important part. So ultimately what they had to say was completely spot on. People who don't understand this, I agree with Jillian, they're triggered, and ultimately they must have some type of trauma response where they were not put first in when they were growing up, and that's not what they mean. They don't actually mean if this kid needs a pair of shoes and they want to go on a date night, they're going to go on the date night anyways. That's not what they mean by put your marriage first.
Right.
I think put the marriage first means making sure that you're scheduling those quality times together, that you are making sure that you take the time to tell each other you look nice, and not get too busy with the kids that you're not paying attention to your spouse or what their needs are, because our needs never go away. Especially after you have kids, I feel like your needs go up because you're constantly thinking about somebody else instead of yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I said, my analogy from the beginning of the episode is that you have to have priorities. And I feel like when it comes to priorities, it should be yourself, making sure you're good, then your marriage, then your children. Because I think once one is strong, it leads into the next thing that becomes strong, and then leads into the next thing that it also becomes strong. So I totally got what she was saying. Even though I'm not married with our children, I totally understood what she was saying. So for, like I said, there were people who were totally got what she was getting, which is I'm in that camp, and those who would be like, no, absolutely not. Almost like they were trying to say she's not a good mother. And I thought that was kind of messed
They're always
up.
trying to come for her.
Yeah.
they just don't get it, and that's okay. And I personally agree with what both of y'all said. So for the first time in a very long time, we
all three on the same page.
on the same
I can't
page.
believe that.
So I have no additional thoughts. Y'all said it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Good for her. And I, like I said, they seem happy.
Yeah.
I hope it's what we're seeing
think
is
it
what
is.
it is behind
so.
closed doors. So if it is, then I'm happy for her, because at the
Well,
end
I
of the
think
day, it doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is what they think. And as long as it works for them and they're happy, more power to
Yeah,
them.
it would be one thing, but they didn't seem happy. They seem happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
The kids seem happy.
and I don't think they overshare or overly try to like push it in your face to the point where it's like, are you only doing that because you want people to think that? Like it just all they seem genuine. So I
Yeah.
hope they are. But yeah, so that's our thoughts on Steph Curry, Ayesha, putting your family first, things like that. So this was a more emotional, I think, episode overall. But, you know, we are so happy to have had Stacey here.
Yay.
Thank you so much for coming.
I'll be back because now this episode spawned so many more topics that I would love to dive into with you guys. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Whenever y'all
Yeah. And when
have
Michael
time.
comes back, we
Yeah.
might have to do a 4.
yeah.
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 Okay, we're just going to get out of here and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
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 And that's a wrap on the latest episode of Let Me Finish. Thank you guys for joining us for another week and listening to the latest episode. Don't forget, go like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platforms. And you guys can also follow us and see us on different platforms. I am on Instagram, and that's going to be Uniquely Janice. And then I'll also be on TikTok, Janice H, GENICEH. Michael, where can they find you?
I'm only on Instagram, and it's Kasra Salimi. And by Kasra Salimi, I mean Kasra Writes, because I changed it and I just forgot. So it's KASRA Writes, WRITES.
Yes. Jillian, where can we find you?
Instagram as well, and it's New Jillian Who Dis.
New Jillian Who Dis. All right. Well, we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.